Hi, my name's Walt, and I'm a piler. I'm not the only one. There are other pilers. There isn't a Pilers Anonymous yet, but there will be. But there's a pile of paperwork to be done. And you may be asking yourself, what's a piler? A piler's a person who puts things in piles. And right now, you're looking at one. Mr. Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters, and anyone who considers himself a spatial organizer. By the time you hear this story, my story, you may be convinced that you're a piler too. And I got it bad. Every piece of furniture at my house with a flat surface is covered with piles. Even the kitchen counters. I can put piles on top of piles. And that's not the end of the story. I'm also a procrastinator, but I'll explain that later. I know I'm a piler. Do you think you might be a piler? If your favorite snack is Pringles, you might be a piler. If you're driving into the sun and you pull down your sun visor and end up with a lap full of papers, you might be a piler. If you have a cord of firewood in your garage and you don't have a fireplace, or if you have coupons for stores that are out of business, or if you have cookbooks and don't cook, you might be a piler. If you have closets full of clothes and no hangers, you might be a piler. If you have 3 piles of clothes, dirty, not so dirty, and special occasions, you might be a piler. But if you're so ashamed of your piles that you never had your friends or family come visit you, you're a piler. And if you try and convince yourself that you're not a hoarder because you're not like those people on A&E, you are a piler. You may be a piler. You may have other compulsions. But I know that I'm a piler. And the clutter was so overwhelming, I had to change my behavior. Dr. Robert Maurer wrote a book, One Small Step Can Change Your Life. In it, he describes a process to effectively change your behavior. In most people, big change triggers a primal fear, and that fear disables the thinking part of the brain. So the thought process that drives change never engages, and the change doesn't happen. But when we take small, comfortable steps, we reduce that fear, and we melt away the resistance to change. And the thought process that drives change engages, and change begins. Dr. Maurer had a patient, Lisa. Lisa had health issues related to being out of shape and overweight. Lisa had tried big diet and big exercise programs and failed. Dr. Maurer suggested a small step to Lisa. Lisa, when you're watching TV at night, after a long day at work, I want you to get up off the couch and for 1 minute, walk in place. Just 1 minute. Dr. Maurer, I can do that. And she did. And after a couple weeks, she didn't immediately stop after 1 minute. And on her own, she decided to get up and walk in place during commercials. Before you know it, she was getting more than 30 minutes of exercise a day. Okay, I got a confession to make. I didn't really read the book. A friend told me about it, but I did go out and buy the book, and it's sitting at home on a pile of 13 other books I plan to read later. You see, I'm a piler and a procrastinator. But I discovered what Lisa did, that by taking small steps, you can change your behavior. I chose the small step of attacking 1 pile a week. And now the piles are smaller and there are fewer of them. I can even see the corner of my dining room table. I stand here before you, a piler and a procrastinator, but someone who is proud to have taken his first step. You may be a piler like me. You may want to quit smoking, stop drinking, lose weight. whatever your compulsion or addiction is, when you go home tonight, I want you to know you're not alone. When you walk out that door, let your first step be a small step. Excuse me a second. This is a copy of my speech. In the past, I would take this home and put it on a pile. These are toast.